Hey guys, it's Sergey from DeFi Gator, and today we're here to talk about three different protocols. And I'm going to give you some basics. I know a lot of you might be experienced, but we are gearing towards more of a beginner investor. And because there are typically three types of protocols right now that are very popular, I wanted to distinguish what each one does, how they make their money, if there's any utility, how long it takes to get your ROI, and just show you a couple charts and basically go over the basics to be able to determine if it is good to invest, if it's the right time to invest, and if you're going to get your money back, or maybe you might even make some money. So let's start off with the three we're going to go with is the auto staker, the miner, and the drip network. So the auto staker is your typical TITANO, Seifu, LockPay, and TITANO is the original one. Okay, they came out with their auto staker, and what it is you're just going to buy a token, it's going to stay in your wallet, and it's just going to accrue interest in native coin. Okay, so this is very important. Auto staker pays out in native coin. What does that mean? That means that they are not guaranteeing that you're going to be able to trade that native coin with time for the equivalent of what it was at the beginning or a month down the road. So it could be losing value. And it makes sense because they are simply printing tokens, okay, as a reward for you to initially invest in their protocol. Always the idea is they say, invest in us, and we will build something that is going to have actual utility, which let's define utility. Utility is not the taxes that are put upon the transactions of the native token and anything inside the protocol. Utility is something that other people are using besides the investors. They're using the coin for in order to achieve a task, and they're paying a premium to the protocol in order to use that coin. Most of the utility right now in any of the crypto space is transferring money, whether it's privacy related or whether it's how fast it is or the transaction fee. Right now, that's what it is. There are others out there, especially, of course, in the top 50 tokens that have a lot of utility and that are developing it. But most of the DeFi is, again, you have to accept it what it is. They are games. If you get in at the wrong time, you're going to lose money. If you get in super early, typically, if you get in at pre-sale, you'll probably be able to make out. But in most of these protocols, the ones that make out are the developers and the friends of the developers. And the third category is, and they might even be kind of friends of the developers, they are the YouTube and the Twitter shillers, okay? And I'll go over that a little bit when we get to the miner and the drip. So an auto staker, again, you're going to buy the tokens. There's going to be a certain tax you're going to pay. Typically, that's going to be 14 to 20%. So 14 it's usually smaller on the buy side, bigger on the sell side. That means that if you spend $100, well, let's just say well, yeah, let's do it's $100 that you're going to spend on tokens, okay? And let me get this. So let's put $100 in. How much are you actually going to get? See, you're going to get, let's just assume 15% taken out, minus 15%. So now you just spent out of your wallet $100, but you're only holding at the beginning 85 tokens, 85 worth of tokens. But what the protocol is telling you is, hey, we're going to pay you every single day, approximately 1 to 2% a day. That sounds good. So I should be back up at 100 in, let's just say, for simplicity's sake, I know it's going to be less, but let's say 12 to 15 days, okay? So 12 to 15 days, again, assuming price is stable and not falling. If it rises, obviously it'll be faster, but we'll take a look at a chart. So you spent 100. They took away 15% for the buy tax when you did the swap on the decentralized exchange, and now you're holding 85. So sometime later, let's say, 15 days later, you're back at 100, assuming, again, price stayed the same. Great. Well, when you try to sell, if you sell 100, if you're back up at 100, they're going to charge you 20%. Different protocols charge different amounts, but typically it's around 20. Now, you just sold and you got $80 back in your MetaMask wallet or Trust wallet. Well, that's not a good deal. That's not 1% a day. So they advertise that you can put in $100 and you'll get $100,000 at the end of the year because of their, again, I took 100,000% return APY. Well, that's not true. So let's look at it. This right here is what they like to put on what happens inside the protocol. They do not consider this, and they do not consider this. If they were to consider this number would be significantly smaller. I mean, it would still be, hundreds of percent or thousands of percent, but it wouldn't be this. Because this is 100 minus 15% becomes 85. 15 days later, that means you got to survive 15 days in that protocol. You're traded in for 80. So what do you need to break even? You need that either the chart to go up approximately 40% on a lot of these auto stakers, okay? So 40% you need a rise in the chart, which is possible if you get in super early. And I'm going to show you that on two protocols that actually have survived multiple months, which is TITANO, Seifu, and then one protocol that has not done well. They only survived 7 days and then went straight down. So that's LockPay version 2. So you need the chart to go up 40% to compensate for these two taxes. Then you are pretty much in the plus. Keep in mind, every day you're making 1 to 2% a day, just as promised, in their native token. If the chart were to go down, you are screwed because you're always chasing. Again, I'm going to show you right now the problem with chasing a chart. You're just never going to outrun it, okay? And I'll show you what I mean by that. So 40%, you got to get the charts up, or you got to hope that the chart stays the same, and you wait approximately 35 days. 30 to 35 days, okay? Because that's when you acquire approximately out of 100 with the 15% sell tax, or I'm sorry, buy tax. You're going to gain from that 85, it'll get up to 140 to 150, something like that, in 35 to 40 days. So now you're in profit. But how much are you in profit? So if you have 150 after, let's say, 35 days, okay? All right, you're at 150 minus 20%. So what is that going to equal? Okay, so let's see, 150 times 0.8. So that's 120. So if you can survive the protocol for 35 to 40 days, which is a long time in DeFi, you're going to get 20% return. So you have to think for yourself, what is it that's going to make this protocol last? And I can tell you right now, it's marketing. Are the people hyped about this? If they're only hyped about the launch and they're going to be exiting the protocol as soon as it's done, this thing ain't going to last. Okay, you need to make sure that whoever's running this project has enough wind in the sails to take this thing past 30 days. They got to be constantly hyping this up, whether it's giving news of something new coming out, new features, fun little games, interactions, contests, always something. Then the other thing is what the new protocols for auto stakers are doing is they're preventing people from withdrawing more than, let's say, 5% a day. Now that's supposed to prevent people from dumping, because before you could just, you could take all your coins and just sell them. Well, nowadays, the way the code is written, a lot of these projects, they saw what happened and they want to extend it. So the key for them is to keep your money, all right? Keep your stable coin. So they are going to only let you do it at 5%. So this right here with the 150 minus 20%, that's not going to work, because most likely if the chart's going down, again, you're going to be chasing it. So every day you can only sell at 150. Yes, you're gaining some tokens, but that's what you have to watch. You have to watch the chart, you have to watch marketing, and you have to see what kind of reaction that people are having. Are they buying? What is the daily transaction volume going up or down? Is it skewed towards the sells? So make sure to look at all those factors if you're already in a protocol, at least look at it so that you know when to exit. Okay, because all this is musical chairs. It's fun. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot of fun, but it's musical chairs. Okay, and there's a lot of people that get left holding the bag. So that's how an auto staker works. And I just want to throw out these numbers so that you understand that when the taxes are figured in, all of a sudden, after 40 days, you're only at 20% profit if you're lucky. Okay, so let's look at TITANO. So this is actually a relaunch. This is the original auto staker protocol. They launched back in November of last year, and they had about a 2-month very slow period, and then about a month and a half slow period. Then they exploded. They did probably about I think a 10 or 15x, something like that. And then let's say they had that for about a month maybe, and then they went down gradually. They didn't tank, they just went down gradually. And you can see this is when they relaunched with actual utility of having their own decentralized exchange. Okay, so the key is, like I always say, who else besides your own investors, your own people that use your token, are using your exchange and paying you money to use that exchange? That's the key. Because if you're the only one, then you might as well use PancakeSwap or whoever, Spooky Swap or any other Trader Joe XYZ, any of those mainstream decentralized exchanges where it's fast, secure, the fees are fairly low, and you know what you're getting. In order for you to actually make money, so they stabilize the chart, they need to attract other people, other protocols that are going to pay them in stablecoin. So you could see when they relaunched, it went up a little bit, and then boom, everybody just kept selling. This is the continuation of what happened in the first part. They were already on their way down. Now, it's not a bad protocol. It's not a bad game. It just happens that a lot of people are selling. And you can see right here, right now, this is pretty amazing. They have 95,000 in volume. So they must have done something that is turning this around. And you could see from the 14th of June to the 14th of July, they've been fairly, solid, about the same. Right now they're at 0.0029, and they were at 0.0032. I mean, that's pretty stable, considering that in 30 days, you're pretty much doubling your coin count. Okay, so if you invested here, I don't think you'd be at a loss here. So these guys are building some kind of utility. They have the decentralized exchange. They have other casino-style games, and they're trying, even though they have a lot of emissions that they have to deal with. I want to show you one that was marketed, sorry, extremely well. So these guys launched in March of this year, at the beginning of March, and of course, a lot of controversy with their CEO, the head guy, Brian Legend. But one thing you got to give him is he is a phenomenal marketer. People will say he's a scammer, he's this, that, but yes, he did a lot of things that towed the line. He didn't have a burn address that was the right burn address. He collected all those coins, but he never cashed out. He never rugged. He never did anything that was outright, thievery. He invested into a racing team. He took out $500,000 into their next protocol, the Seifu X chain, or Seifu X token, which is the blockchain that they're again supposedly building. And I don't know if they are, but at the end of the day, the marketing that this guy has done is phenomenal. Right now, they're running ads in London at the subway, and in the subway, sorry. And you could see they started, I think, right around here, and you could see they doubled from about $10. They doubled to 20, whereas others haven't been able to do that. So they started at $20, and look, they averaged out for almost 2 months at 200. That's 10x. So the people that put in their money right here and waited 30 days, they definitely made money. All these people here and here, all the way up to, let's see, when did it start going down? Right about, let's call this, okay, 200. So this was April 24th, 25th, all right? That's when it started kind of dropping. So if you go back a month, right, that's when we know that when's our break-even point. So our break-even point's a month from that. So that March 24th, so anybody from the launch day to March 24th was able to double their money and make some kind of return on their money, no matter where they were over here. If they were over here, they made a ton of money, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5x. Some people made 10x. And again, this is all due to marketing. This guy was brilliant. There are no other protocols in the past 6 months that did what he did in terms of he sold himself. He sold the controversy. There are people that love Trump and there are people that hate Donald Trump. But one thing you got to give to him is he's a great marketer. He was able to become the president of the United States through marketing, correct marketing. And I saw a lot of this in what Brian Legend did. Again, apart from the fact that there was no utility when he launched, zero, but he put so much hopium in people's minds that he was able to sell this thing and he kept it going. Now, of course, the people that bought here are screwed. I mean, it lost 95%. Okay, so you're down 90 to 95%. You got some rebases, so maybe not 90%, but definitely 50 to 40 to 60%. You're pretty much down. So the key right now is he's still paying out the 2% per day. So what is going to be next? So the next thing that he proposed is nodes. All right. So he's going to keep selling it. He's going to piggyback on this, just like Drip did on Animal Farm. He's going to do the same thing. So the marketing is great, and I do see this going up because of him. Not because of the protocol, but because of him. All right? So distinguish between those two. Real quick, I want to show you LockPay. These are the guys that created the anti-whale mechanism, which over here, you could sell whatever you want. There's no anti-whale mechanism. You could sell all your coins or 1% of your coins, whatever you want. And you could see marketing did this. Check this out. So they launched and people bought, and then there was very little marketing and people started selling, and guess where it's going? Boom, that's it. One more thing, look at the buys, 0 buys. All right, all sells, that's it. They're just plummeting down. Seifu, look at the buys, they're about even. That's great, okay, because typically on the way down, you're not going to see that. So that's the auto stakers. Let's go through and look at the miners. And by the way, the ROI, like we talked about, it's 30 to 60 days. So that's something to keep in mind. That's everything is tied into marketing. So can you survive 30 to 60 days? We saw that Seifu could, and we saw that TITANO could if you got in at the very beginning. Okay. So one last thing. Taxes and anti-dump fees are how they produce money. Once TITANO got their decentralized exchange, I think they have other protocols running on it, so they're able to collect some kind of fees for that, but at least that's something, right? And a lot of these guys run lotteries and all that, those are kind of utilities, but not really, because you're still playing with the investors. You're telling your investors, well, now that you've invested, can you also maybe lose some money back to the house, essentially? Okay, so let's talk about the miners. There's a lot of these BNB miners. There's the baked bean miners. There's the Cube, which is from Quantic. They're all pretty much the same. The idea is you are going to compound for 6. You're going to put in some stable coin. Usually it's BNB, and you're going to compound for 6 days, and you're going to take out on your not the whole thing, but you're going to take out on the 7th day. All right. And you're just going to keep doing that. And every week is a cycle. All right. So 6 compound, 1 withdrawal. They do either 80, 90% withdrawal fee if you don't do the 6 plus 1. All right. So that's why I say the ROI is anywhere from 7 days to very, very long. Because if you are not in at the very, 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 very beginning, you are chasing that, that yield. And they promise anywhere from 2% to 16% a day. I don't have a chart to show you because essentially it's just a wallet that has the total volume locked of BNB go up or down, and every week it just keeps it keeps paying out. So there is nothing else except for the investors that are putting in their stablecoin into these protocols. There's nothing else. All there are gate posts to prevent people from extracting that stablecoin with hopefully a profit back into their wallet. But think about it. If somebody puts in 100, and there's a little bit of taxes involved. So if you put in 100, you are trying to get back 100. So what happens here? You put in that 100, that 100 goes away. That's it. It gets locked up. You're only getting paid the rewards. Now, those rewards are going to be paid out in stablecoin, okay, such as BUSD. But what happens is your first payout might be like $30. If you got in on the second day, so you got $30 and you're like, oh boy, this is great. My first payout after 6+1 is $30. Man, this is going to be nice. 3 weeks, I'm going to be ROI'd, or 4 weeks, and then it's all profit from there. But guess what? Then your next payout's like $18 because people stop putting in money, because that's the way the system works. Is it's always meant to pay out a little bit less than what comes in. So if you're at the very beginning, you have a chance to, maybe your first payout was like almost $60, right? Then the next one's going to be like 38. Then the next one's going to be like 25, and so on and so forth. So by, second, third week, you got your ROI, and then you don't care. And there have been people, YouTubers, that have pulled out massive amounts. But think about it. If they're pulling out massive amounts, that's called using other people's money for exit liquidity. So always know at which point are you entering the protocol. Don't be stupid and just because you like some YouTuber and go, oh, he's truthful. Believe me, none of these guys care about you. They don't care about anything other than getting anywhere between $250 a video to $5,000 a video, okay? So do not just blindly ape into any of these protocols because, Jimmy Crypto decided to run a $100 giveaway and just say, oh, you should enter this, okay? So let's examine this real quick. So they promised 2,500% APY. That's, again, this is typical. I'm not pointing anyone out. So your $100 they're saying at the end of the year would turn into 2,500. This is all dependent on how many people you are referring, and everything is going to be referrals and penalties for early withdrawal. That's the utility of the whole of this game. Okay, so these musical chairs are based on how many people you refer. If you are referring a bunch of people, then you are getting your ROI back really, really quick because your percentage goes up because of your referrals. That's the key. So everybody gets paid a different percentage based on the amount of referrals they're going to get. So that's why you see all these YouTubers promote the shit out of a lot of these miners. So pardon my French. Because they are only concerned with one thing, and that is make you take stablecoin out of your wallet and put it into their wallet. That's it. They don't care about you. Just remember that, okay? And I'm not saying this to discourage you. These are fun games. You can make money, but please be smart when you evaluate timing, marketing, and the overall market conditions, okay? How many people are feeling confident that they can spare an extra $100, $500, $1,000 besides you, right? Okay, so that's how the miner works. There's definitely, I think, either 5 or 10% tax. So same thing as here. You're going to put in 100, you might only get 90, and that's what it's going to compound on. So things like that. And it's, again, they don't try to trick you. They say when I say miner, you're mining other people's coins. Okay, this isn't a Bitcoin miner, Ethereum miner, Cadena miner, or any like actual computer server that mines coins. No, you're putting in the coins, and then you have a game where they essentially assign an amount to every person, and the earlier you're in, the more you're going to get. The people that come in late are going to be screwed. Okay, so let's move on to the third one. This is a popular one. This is a great game. Drip was released last year. It was a really slow burn, and then it picked up steam and it just exploded. And let me show you the chart real quick. So this is all the way. So they've been around for 11 months, which is commendable, right? I mean, DeFi projects just don't last that long. So check this out. They released right here on, let's just say August, okay, right at the beginning of August. And they kind of went down because, it wasn't very much volume. Look at the volume up here in the top left. You can see 3,500. And this is 1 day of volume, okay? 2,000, 1,000 buys and sells. And you can see down here on the chart where my arrow is, it's not very much. And then look, something happens right here, okay? So on December 9th, there is some kind of YouTube influencer, or there's a catalyst, okay? So somebody was like, hey, I got a lot of YouTube followers or whatever it was, and the market conditions were such that people wanted to invest. I mean, yes, there was an all-time high, and Bitcoin kind of moved from 69,000 to, I think, 45,000 or something like that at this point, but people still were pretty bullish on the market. So what happened? This gets promoted, and it goes from, let's just go from here, goes all the way up 500%. Boom. So here's what happens in a drip type game, okay? I believe Animal Farm is very, very similar, and it's made by the same people. So it's paid out in native coin. Again, what they pay you out in is not going to be very valuable if the chart does not stay steady. So here's what you need to look at. What's my ROI if the chart stays steady? Right here, the ROI is 140 days. Okay, after that, you get, you get your, or I'm sorry, in 140 days, this shouldn't be, I apologize, this should be where you get your, I believe, 365%, okay, in 140 days. I'm almost positive. Because I think you don't get your ROI, but you double your, at 1% a day, you're going to, actually, maybe it is. Let me think about this. So 1% a day with the taxes, the way they work. Yeah, you know what? If you put in $100, you're going to get, this is considering all the taxes you pay for the compounding and the buy and the sell. So I think it is 140 days. But let's just assume it's 140. If I'm wrong, please write in the comments. I apologize, but I'm going to give you the basics, so it's not going to be based on numbers. It's going to be based on you guys evaluating on, calculating it out, seeing what the ROI is, and then basing your decision on that. So their taxes are 5 to 10% on every transaction. Okay, so if you move your money from let's say the faucet, which is where you kind of have it staked, I guess. Okay. To compounding, or if you move from compounding to wallet, every time it's either 5 or 10%, 5 to 10%. And that's what they claim is the sustainability of the project. Now, you know that if there's no stable coin coming in, again, stable coins, the only thing that's worth actual value, that's the problem, okay? So let's look at the drip right here. They had 140 days. Okay, so the people that bought, I think I went over this in one of my other videos, but the people that bought right here, there was a chance that they, on the way up, if they were cashing out at all, from the beginning of January, okay, from January, even right here, January 1st, so to the end of January. So on February, let's just call it February 1st, that's it. It was over, Johnny. Check this out. Again, I'm not trying to spread FUD or anything like that. I'm just saying all these people got up here, and guess what happened? Everybody wants to cash out. And look at the sells, 561 right now. Look at the buys, 73. Total volume, 62. So as a percentage, that's probably what it is, if not worse, skewed into the sells. That means that it's pretty much one buy to 8 sells. Okay, 1 to 8. So look at how much was being bought in a single day. There was 1.89 million bought. I mean, you can imagine that's some big, big, big purchases. And then the next day, there was 1.75 million bought. So there was some huge shilling going on. Huge, huge, huge shilling. And where did all these YouTubers make their money? They made it not just for the token. They made it by the fact that all the people that followed them used their referral link and are paying every single time that they cash out, every single time that they put money in. They're tied into that referral. Okay, so that's what this protocol is very, very, very heavily reliant upon, is the referrals. What kind of made me a little bit mad is I'm subscribed to some of these influencers, and they, at this point, so we are on what, July 12th, okay? All throughout basically, I mean, all everywhere from February down, you can see there wasn't a single point where it was like a chance of it going up. There's one thing that happened here, 1.71 million on 17th of March. I'm not sure what the catalyst here was, what the event was, but you could see it got all those buys, and then boom, all the sells just kept going, right? This thing's going down. Again, I'm not trying to cause FUD. I'm just telling you, there's a lot of people that want to cash out. And unless this thing somehow turns into a lot of people want to, again, invest, then maybe, it can go up again. But I just don't see that happening. You got to have to, which they're doing. What they're doing is they're gonna introduce a whole bunch of new protocols so that you can throw your coins into that, and then they're gonna maybe, I don't know, use that liquidity for this or whatever it is. But it's typical, and that's how these games are played. So what I just want to mention: do not these crypto influencers. They have very nice channels. They have very shiny little cartoon intros, and they have very smooth talking, speeches, and they have very nice faces, and they're good looking men and women. And guess what? They don't care about you. They just want to take your money. They want you to use their referral code for everything they're selling to you. If you go back to January of this year and look at the crap that they all promoted, they have no idea. They have no economic knowledge for the most part. They have all they care about is that you listen to them and say, "Oh boy, this is a great product." Well, was this a great product when people in 140 days. So 140 days, right there, 140 bars, 140 days. Anybody buying, okay, you could see anybody that bought from February 1st until now. Actually, even from pretty much mid-January, because you had to have at least a week to compound. All that, yes, they could say, "Oh, but you're compounding your tokens." Yes, but if your tokens, look down here, lost 94.37% of their value, okay, yes, you compounded from, let's say you put in $100 and you got back 365 worth of tokens. But 365 times 0.05, which is how much they're worth in stablecoin, that means you got back $3.65. Okay, I'm sorry, $15. Let's even say $20. Okay, because all this did the whole time is it just keeps going down. What's the way you can earn money? Well, you can get people to contribute tokens to you, not just by the protocol paying out, but by other people using your referral link. So when I noticed that, I thought it was I'm not going to say it, but it's a bad move, okay? When people hear and 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 hear are constantly tweeting about how others should look at Drip and what a great protocol it is. Okay, what's so great about this? um, the chart's going down. So if there's something that's actually going to turn it around, then okay, I'll listen to you. But when you keep saying, and these obviously, I'm sure these people are going to be pissed and say, well, you don't know what you're talking about. And I didn't invest in Trip. I watched it from the side. But yeah, this is something that kind of irritates me is when those people are smiling and telling you to invest into a protocol that's clearly going down, because you're never going to make your money back on this until they actually introduce another game or another part of the game that you're going to be able to that a lot of people are going to be attracted to because of the marketing. Remember, because of the marketing. So those are the three main ones. There is also Tomb Forks out there, which is the 3-coin game, and we're going to go over that. I thought we were going to do that today, but I decided to do these three. Hopefully, the people that are invested in these types of protocols and that are either on the end of the YouTube influencers or they're on the end of the people that are losing money and hoping still that this turns around. Don't take this as me, talking crap or, I'm just telling you how these Ponzi's work. And they're fun. They are fun. I've invested in them. It's fun to come in and every day check how many tokens you're getting. It's cool to check the chart. It's cool to be in the community. All that is fun, okay? But please do not take your entire life savings and dump it into one of these protocols. They are not going to pay out. They're just going to be extremely happy to distribute it to all the crypto influencers that are just absolutely killing it out there. I'll leave you at this. Remember, it's not how much unrealized profit you have inside the protocol. It's how much you started out with in your wallet, and it's how much you ended up with in your wallet, which is why I showed you here. If you take away the taxes, sure, you could be making everything back in 15 days, or you're making profit right away, but you got to pay the taxes. Okay, that's the key with these protocols and these projects is they are there to put all kinds of stops for you to not be able to take out your money. And again, if everybody did that and took out their money, guess what? It would be over, momentarily. So that's what happened to a lot of projects that didn't think out their tokenomics. I'm hoping that this was helpful. Do not think of me as a negative news guy. I simply am telling you that in the DeFi space, this is a gamble and not an investment, and it's okay. It's fun. So be smart, be diligent, and if you guys are looking for all kinds of new projects that are coming out, subscribe to our channel. Make sure you give us a like. Make sure to check out our website at defigator.xyz. And if you can, please go on our Twitter. Just give us a follow there. Really appreciate it. And we'll continue to do the work for you. If you guys have questions about any of the stuff coming out, let me know. And we'll try to review it and give you an honest opinion about what's coming up. I appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one.